Hi everyone. I'm not the kind of person who usually shares personal stories, especially not online. But this one has been haunting me for months, and honestly, I don't know how much longer I have. About half a year ago, I went on a solo trip to a small, remote village up in Vietnam. It was quiet, isolated, barely a signal on my phone, but the locals were surprisingly kind, warm, friendly, the kind of people that made you feel like you belonged. The village chief was an old man with kind eyes. He offered me a place to stay for a few nights, and I gladly accepted, but he gave me a warning.
No matter what, don't go near the abandoned house at the far end of the village.
He told me it had been deserted since the war. Years ago, when things finally settled, a family moved in. There was an old grave next to the house, no name, no markings, just a weathered stone. The family didn't want it there, so they destroyed it, and that's when things started to go wrong. One by one, the family members lost their minds. They kept saying the same thing over and over.
It sees me! It sees me!
And then, within weeks, they died, every single one. Since then, no one in the village has dared to even set foot near the place. I remember laughing to myself after he told me the story. It sounded like some old ghost tale meant to scare kids. I didn't believe in that kind of thing. The next evening, curiosity got the better of me. The house was exactly where he said it'd be, at the very edge of the village. It was small and rotten, like it had been holding itself together for far too long. The front door was shut tight, but there was a hole in the wood just big enough to peek through. I hesitated, then I leaned forward and looked inside. Dust floated in the fading sunlight. The room looked empty, silent, lifeless, but in the middle of it all stood an old wooden cabinet. On top of it was something covered in a white cloth. As I watched, the cloth suddenly slipped off like someone had yanked it away. There was no wind, no sound. Beneath it was a black and white portrait. A woman. She was smiling. I jerked back. My heart was pounding, but I told myself it was just an old photo. Nothing more. The next morning, I left the village and returned to the city. I didn't mention the house to anyone. That night, I had a dream. She was there, the woman from the photo, standing at the foot of my bed, smiling, watching. Her eyes never blinked. And then she spoke in a voice that didn't sound human. I woke up drenched in sweat, but the dream came again the next night, and the next, and the next. I stopped sleeping. I couldn't. My mind was falling apart, and then I started saying it too. In the middle of the night, without realizing it, I'd scream, "She sees me." 3 months later, my family had me committed to a psychiatric hospital. I'm here now, lying in a cold white bed. The doctors say I'm paranoid, delusional, but I know what I saw. I know she's real. Because every time I close my eyes, she's there, still smiling, still watching. She saw me, and now she won't look away.